Alright, so Eleanor Rigby by the Beatles off of Revolver, 1966. This is Paul's song. He was only like 24 when he wrote this. And lyrically, you know, it's like such a poignant lyric for a guy who was only 24. And of course, the arrangement is String Quartet by George Martin. It's just absolutely a genius. You know, huge part of the Beatles. Anyways, there's only two chords in this song, right? So just E minor and C. And that's pretty well it. So what I've done with this arrangement is I've tried to combine the melody and some of the string parts to just sort of get the vibe on, you know, the string quartet arrangement with the melody. Okay, so let's get right into it, because there's a lot of little details in the way I've done it. So we're going to start on the C, and we're going to be up here on, this is E8. Okay, and my arrangement, well, I mean, I just basically am trying to cop the string quartet arrangement, but it's all based on fours with the thumb. You know, just basically going between the C and the E, open E, or even down here, right? Okay, so that's the essence of it. So that's something you're going to have that thumb going the whole time. Okay, so the intro is like this. All right, so a thumb, of course, just that, fours. Okay, and the upper part, we're going to go here, we're going to fret B7 and play the open G string. Of course, before that, it's just open, as I should have said this before, G, B, E, so it's like, that's your first move, right? And then it's, right, so it's 7, 8 on the B, while playing the G. And then we're going to go 5 and 7, E and B. So, right, and then back here. And then we're going to play open G and open E. Okay? So it's going to sound like this. Now we're going to go, okay, so we're going to get the B string, open B, and the B up here on D9. Drift that down and hit open G. All right, so real slow. Okay, and that's your opening bit. Now we're going to fill that in with this line here. Okay, and that's just, it's all bouncing off the open B. So it's G2, open G, and then D4, open G, and then D2, the E note, right? So off the B. Okay, so that whole bit. Okay, now we're going to do it again. And now we're going to stop the bass and we're going to do this, which is that an octave higher, right? And so we're going to be here, bouncing off this B here, right? But bouncing off that B, so. All right, so far we've got. Okay, and that section, I always played that the same. It's identical every time. So now we get into the verse, and it's going to go like this. that's kind of the basics of it, but I put in a whole bunch of variations, which we'll go over as we go along. Okay, so we're going to be here on G2, and then open B. Okay, and what I did is, I kind of got the G note on there, on D5, and put a little bend in it. And you don't have to do that. I did that because I kind of like that sort of bluesy sound of it. You could go just open G, okay, but I didn't. I went. Now we're going to go, and that's a hammer. 2 hammers. Right, so we're hammering on 2 and then 2 to 4 on the G. Right, and then we're going to hit the D note on B3 along with the open G. Right, pull off there. All right, there's a lot of pull-offs in this. That one, I'm hammering on from nowhere. Right, so. Okay, so with the bass, it's. And that is all on just the G and the B strings, right? Of course, with the thumb on the bass. Now I'm going to hit this chord, which is kind of like a C major 7, but it's got that A in it too. Okay, now that is just part of my arrangement. I don't think they play that actual note on the string quartet. Maybe they do, I don't know. So and I'm just going boom, 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 and doing that. Then I'm going to go, so it's hammering on, but hitting that E note as I go. So. We do it again. Well, this time, when I hit that E, I'm also going to hit the open B. So you get that kind of, I don't know, just weird sort of fifth. Is it a fifth? Fifth or fourth kind of sound, a real hollow sound. Now this next time, when I do it, I'm going to throw in that E string too. So now I'm going to be playing all 3 strings. So it's going to be. First time it's just a 2. First time it's. Second time. Okay, so second time it's all 3. And that's pretty well it. I think I forgot one bit though. And that's in the very first time you do that. This time. The bass changes, it goes to D there, right? Okay, so it's. So you've got 2 shots on that open D. Now that's, you don't have to do that because that's actually really tricky to get that in there. It's only twice, right? So if you can throw that in there, it's kind of a bonus, right? Don't really need it. But that is actually in the arrangement, the original arrangement, right? So that's kind of that section. There's a couple of more variations of that section that I'll go over in a minute. But now we'll get to the next section, which is the All the Lonely People bit, right? So the way I did it was this. So what we're going to do there, because on the, we want to get that in there, but we also want to have that pumping E note, right? So the way I did it was, you pump the E, right? But you're hitting the open D there, and the A note on G2. So you got, so we're going from D down to there, right? So we're getting that line, but we're also getting E. Again, I'm trying to bend that note a bit, right? So that's open E, open D, and G2. And then the open B. Then, right, while we hit the C note here. Then, that's a pull-off, right? The third finger, 3 to 2 in the G. Then open G, and then the E note on D2. So, okay, all the while maintaining that 4s with the thumb, right? So that whole bit. Okay, and I just left that space there. Then we do it again. Now we're going to go up here. That's going to be E9, E8, sorry, E8 and B8. Then open E, and open B. So it's like, and then it's going to be D7. Then open G. While maintaining that, right? So. So let's do that whole bit so far. Okay, and then I put in this fill. Okay, and that's there. That's D8, sorry, D9 and B8, and then D5, B5. Right, that's your first move while maintaining the 4s, right? But we'll worry about it in a second. And then open D, open B. Right? That's the first bit. Now we've got the C note on A3 and G2, and then A2, open G. So we've got, with the 4s, would be, alright, and then we're going to start the whole thing again. Okay, so let's do that whole thing. And that bit there, like when I pull that off, I'm also trying to get a piece of that open B with that finger as I pull it off, right? So it's, if you can, it just adds that kind of weird interval, right? Okay, and now that part there is always the same too. I always play that the same, except I added one fill later on. So when we finish that first bit of it, just added that. Okay, so it's just open G, open E, and then G2, E2, G4, E3, and then G5, E5. So okay, now the whole thing starts again, all right? And so the verse, I'll show you the two other variations on it, okay? And that's where we do that walking bass kind of thing. So we're going to go. Okay, so it's all the same. And I'm using all three on this one, right? Instead of two, all three. Go right, just the major scale, right? So and letting those ring. And the fingering there's a little awkward, and then now we're gonna go. Throw that in there. Okay, so that's A2, then a hammer from D2 to D4, then just the regular, right? So now this is, this is not easy stuff, right? I mean, it'll be easier for some people than it is for others, but it's fairly complicated. So let's go over that whole variation. So it'll be. Back to this. Now we're back to this. So that's pretty well it for this one. Complex song, definitely for more advanced finger picking type players. But it sounds really good, I think, Okay, and then I guess the only bit that I missed is the ending, and the ending is just so it's that bit, right? But with a different rhythm. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4, and then just ended up on the E minor, just playing the B, sorry, the A string, the D string, and the G string. So. And good, throw that in there if you wanted, right? Okay, that's it for this one. I hope you get something out of it. It's a more complex one to get, and it'll take, I mean, it took me a while to get this nailed down, and I could still put some work into it to make it a bit sharper. Anyways, hope you enjoyed playing it. Hope you enjoyed the lesson, and we'll talk to you next time.